Oil prices have been moving up this week largely because of tensions between Iran and Israel over a bombing attack, basically. And also, Iran just recently, this is kind of like hot off the press, is really national news, okay? I just want to go over it real fast in one sentence, basically. Iran rolled out its oil weapon Wednesday, announced a cut in exports to 6 European countries, including France, Spain, and Greece. And Spain and Greece are the most vulnerable. Saudi Arabia, this is the same old game, right? Saudi Arabia, which shares Western fears of a nuclear Iran that threatens to dominate the Middle East, has vowed to pump more oil to make up for any shortfall. And it's my guess that they can't make up for the shortfall, but the thing is, the demand really isn't there that much. As far as the Western nations are concerned, it seems to be more coming from China, India, maybe Japan too. So, Iran sits on the third largest oil reserves in the world and the second largest natural gas fields. And actually, in a small area, there's really the most natural gas in Iran because it's just the largest is Russia, and you're talking over a nation that expands a vast amount of more territory than Iran. So there's a hell of a lot of natural gas in that one area. Asian countries have not cooperated with Western efforts for international sanctions. Most of Iran's oil exports are to South Korea, China, India, and Japan, which may benefit from Western boycotts, and they will benefit from the Western boycott because they're going to get oil at a steep discount. So that's going to help their economies. And you know, in the case of Japan, they had that thing with the tsunami and the earthquake, and they can need something like this to help their economy anyway. So whatever. So that's a good thing for them. And I don't think this is going to really jack up the price of oil too much. And I'm out of oil right now, and I would have liked to take in that 1% move more, but I'm out of it. And but considering I didn't realize these events were hitting Monday, and I bought some silver, ultra velocity silver, but it was a small bet. Actually, I'm getting hit a hell of a lot more on all the commodities I'm in because the used on a euro is not super good, and that is really what I need to be moving ahead in, and where I'm going to move ahead on money. So, but I pointed this out yesterday about the global manufacturing index, PMI, and it's been going up since the last couple months. It's been doing a little bit better. And, you know, one thing I want to point out about this, you know, I'm going to watch this very carefully, and I know I look at the statistics, but I never really look at the chart. It's kind of better to look at the chart. It may be a good idea to jump into silver now, and I'm kind of itching to go into USLV, but it's scary. And I did a small bet. You know, I can wait, even though I know it erodes, it's still going to make money. Because I got that set to pull the trigger fast if it does something even tomorrow. But I think that I may go into USLV hard, but pretty soon. But I'm really like kind of nervous about some of this stuff because I think there might be a hiccup with the euro, and there might be a little bit of pullback in silver, and I want to get it at a good price. Quite obviously, I wish I knew about this stuff. I almost won an AGQ at the end of December, as I said before. Instead, I bought physical coins. I am not buying any more physical coins. I am through buying physical silver. I got enough of that stuff. And I know one thing, you don't need to be putting all your eggs in one basket. Enough is enough. That's the way I look at it. I'm looking to sell, and people want to go buy it for a few $100 an ounce. Hey, you got a seller right here, right now. But you know, I think this PMI thing is something, like I mentioned yesterday, something very good to look at because when oil was going up, and it crashed, say right around this point back in 2008, PMI was kind of sliding. Now, Goldman Sachs was also pushing $200 barrel oil, and they were also pushing $120 a barrel oil for July in 2011. And those guys are some people to watch because They're full of it. So, in short, they really are. I mean, that's part of the game, and it's been a game that's been going on 100 years. So, you know, quite obviously, I think people knew that oil was going to crash back in 2008, and Goldman Sachs was pushing $200 barrel oil. So, I mean, let me put it this way. I don't want to call that, well, I guess it is a conspiracy, but I just hate that word because it reminds me of Cloak and Dagger. Everything's really planned out. It's a scam. How's that? It's a scam. And, you got to let the other sucker move the wrong way, and that's how you make money. Well, with this, I'm almost thinking that silver's looking pretty safe to get into right now. But I swear, I think there's going to be a little hiccup with this euro. And there's an article out today, and this is very, very recent, talking about the German bonds jumped a little bit because the Greek rescue package might be delayed for a while. And don't know how long it could be delayed. Obviously, it can't be delayed too long because it'll default. But there are several possible options on how Greece is going to play out over the next few weeks, and it's right that the market should recognize that a lot of these are not particularly desirable. That's what I keep thinking about silver. So I'm not ready to jump in here on this leverage stuff just yet. I got the PSLV, and I'm pretty heavy into that. And actually, yeah, I am down a little bit on USLV, but when silver moves, I got so much more PSLV than USLV. The dollar movement in PSLV is a hell of a lot more, believe me. So I'm not even looking at this USLV. It's nothing. But I might jump into it heavy, and it's probably going to drive me nuts. But I want to get in there at a low. And if that doubles money, I am out of there. I'm out of there. So that's a risky maneuver. Very risky. Because the way this can play out too, if there's a war with Iran, and I think there's going to be, and this is some of my thoughts on this stuff, this is some of my kind of like worries. If oil goes up to $150 a barrel or more because of a big massive war with Iran, what is that going to do to the economy? It's going to clobber it. So that could knock down all the commodities, including silver, gold, platinum, palladium, all that stuff can get copper, you name it. That can all get clobbered. That can all get clobbered. I know, like, it's not a lot of times when oil's in a bull market, silver runs hard with it too. But say oil is a spike because of some other reason. In other words, normally when oil goes in a hard bull market, it's not because the Straits of Hormuz is closed, is it? It's because the economy is really heating up, right? So that sometimes can tell me that, I don't know if silver's going to move as fast as oil. Well, I don't think it would actually if Straits of Hormuz is closed. So I don't know. I might make a dual play for oil and silver, but I don't feel comfortable in jumping in oil right now at all. Period. Because somehow I think this attack's going to be delayed a little longer. It's not going to happen just yet. It may creep up a little bit more, but I want to be in there for when it flies up like 20, 30 bucks in a day. And that's what I think is going to happen when there's an attack. So I don't know what the hell it's going to do, but if it gets up, what the normal trend is with this oil stuff, it could go up a little bit more. Maybe it'll start trading between, I don't know, start floating up to 103 or something, and start crashing down and find resistance at 100, and maybe I'll buy it there because I'll figure it'll bounce off 100. So I just play things by ear. So I also want to point out about some of the fundamentalists with this silver stuff, because I'm going to go over something later, and I'm going to name names, and I'm going to tell you how they're wrong. But I could make a statement right now and say, I heard this garbage, you can see this on the net sometimes, platinum is 30 times more rare than gold. I don't know where this garbage number comes from, but you see this statement all the time. Palladium is more rare than platinum. So should I say that platinum should be $50,000 an ounce right now, and palladium should be at least that much because gold is sitting at over 1,700? No, and that's why you got to watch how you can pull out different facts. Because let me put it this way: before I was an accountant, or before I got into accounting or as a major, I was a math major, and I was very astute with mathematics at the time. And one thing I learned is you can play all kinds of games with statistics. You can prove any damn thing you want. That's why I don't trust a lot of these clowns out there with these numbers and charts and stuff like that. And they might not be trying to mislead anybody, but in effect they are. They are, because it may be that silver isn't going to go anywhere near some of the highs some people think. That's a possibility. I know I'm getting out of it in steps. I know I am. I mean, if silver goes to crazy number like $200 an ounce, I'm going to start pulling out of it. And actually, I'll probably sell 100 ounces of it today, of this year, if it goes over 75. Waiting for a pullback, and I'll buy some of it back. That's what I'll do. But obviously, I'm not going to sell any at $30-something an ounce, even though I got it a hell of a lot cheaper than that. I'm not going to do that. It's too cheap right now. I'd have been smart to sell it at 47 or 49. It'd been nice, and buy it back. But that's. I just want to comment on that because a lot of people, I think, are being really screwed over big time, and they don't want to hear it. So I don't know. But as far as this euro thing, I still say it's a guess. I think there's going to be a hiccup with it. It's sort of like the weather. It goes up and down. Right now, nobody really knows what the hell's going on, and that's why you're seeing a lot of the markets are pretty flat. They're not really doing too much. And that's because people are most people are sitting on the sidelines for word of what's going to come out of the meetings with Greece and what they're going to do, if they're going to accept more cuts and all this kind of stuff. So it's really up in the air right now, and that's why nothing's doing anything right now. And I noticed with this velocity shares, it looks like the traders are playing around day trading this thing. It looks like the heavy volumes in the low. There's a low there. There's a low here. There's a low down here. So people bought into it. So I don't know. Maybe it means it's going to spike up a little bit. But there's not a whole hell of a lot of volume going on in anything right now. And somebody mentioned about that volume index, and I tell you yesterday about leverage on a volume index. Tell you the truth, I never even seen that thing. So, I wouldn't just jump in there just yet, though. I wouldn't jump in there just yet. If you can judge when a crisis is going to come up, that'd be a nice thing to jump into because you would have a good gain. But tell you the truth, if you could predict geopolitical events when some drama is going to come out, you can make a hell of a lot of money. And I concentrate on that a lot, but I can't always predict those events all the time. That's the thing. But that's kind of my method. Look at the geopolitical events more than anything. And the price points of where the metals have been, where different things have been sold at. I understand those things, but it's the turn that really throws people off. One's going to hit a tie and one's going to turn. So a lot of it is geopolitical events.